Hello everybody, Rend's back, and this time with a little bit of a different piece of content. I'm going to do a little bit of a tutorial, and I'm using Eternal Acrylic Gouache, and probably should not be saying this, but this is on Bristol paper. Oh, look at that slow thing. So I'm going to show you how I go about painting faces, skin tones. So I use acrylic gouache, some water, and some paint brushes, and let's get started. Here's the image drawn on Bristol paper with blue mechanical pencil lead, because I think it's really fun to use different colored lead instead of just using like the standard gray graphite things. I feel like this kind of gives it a more realistic look because humans are not outlined in anything. But also kind of sets a nice little mood. But here is the pretty colors I'm using. So I start off with a really light layer of water all over the skin, all over where I want to paint. And then I use the lightest color I can. And I just kind of touch up in the areas. I start light to dark. I start with the shadiest areas the most first, then I kind of go in more heavy-handed in the areas I want to touch up. So around the eyes, around the nose, underneath the chin, on the mouth, on the fingertips, that's where I start with the most paint. Then I slowly begin getting darker and darker. So I'm using the more pinkish tone. I'm not exactly sure what colors these are. I'll probably list them down below if you want to see exactly what colors I'm using. And it doesn't really matter unless you're using the same brand as I am. As long as they kind of look similar to the tones I'm using, which is like a beige, a pink, and a reddish color. Now I start adding more colors in. So I use a blue for other shading bits. You'll kind of see how it works out. I'm not a big fan of painting everything on one skin tone or one tone, not all in reds. So I'll usually add a different color in there to add a bit of interest to the rest of it. I use this as a shading color. Along with the deepest red, I'll use a touch of blue. And I also tend to use a lot of water, so it's really good to have some paper towels on hand, as you would with any kind of watercolor drawing. This is gouache. It works really similar to watercolor, but I actually like it a bit more because unlike watercolor, with gouache you can layer lighter colors over darker colors, and I feel like I have a bit more control, and I don't have to think as hard about what I'm doing. And here's some of the blue, kind of getting a bit heavy-handed with it. But there we go. The paper towel saves your life, man. But here's a bit of a close-up of what it looks like so far. You can see the nice blue pencil lining and tiny little details. Look at those tiny little details that I'm painting on, especially near the eyeballs. Just smoothing things over. And on that nose, oh, look at that nose, boy. Got a nice nose. Okay, now I'm back to the big blending, big shading mode. And here is when I start getting into more detail, so I usually end up darkening it with the darkest color. The darkest red. And then we start shading. I also really I enjoy coloring knuckles and fingers, nails. So you'll see me pay some special attention to that area. I also, in the middle of this, I decided I wanted to leave the hair white, so he will not have any hair color. I just thought it made it more interesting, especially because I was paying so much more attention to the skin. I thought, let's just take a break and give some more visual interest to his face, make him the stylish look. I can't really see where his thumb is right now, but I think it kind of looks like he's doing a little K-pop heart symbol, so it kind of looks like me. And then getting really blue. I think I'm using black blue. Look at that, black blue, man. Getting some serious stuff right here. Getting really dark. You're really cute. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of shading anything with just straight on black. I think it just kind of sucks the life out of any image you do. So I'm gonna just keep using things like that. the blue pencil is kind of getting sucked away by the rest of it. So you just gotta just go in a little bit more. It's always a give and take with art. You kind of just see what you think needs to be fixed up or what areas definitely need to be touched up. Oh, look, he's so tired. Tired boy. A lot of the people I draw tend to look really sleepy. They always have big dark bags underneath their eyes. Kind of looks just like me. So if you want to see what I look like, you just imagine some 2 dark bags underneath your eyes, and that's exactly what it is. No, what a cute baby. What a cute little baby guy. Oh, I think he looks like he's wiping a tear from his eyeball. He's so sad. Oh, what a poor man. He's sad because he's got white hair. He's got white hair and he's only 20. Oh, he's having a good time. This is where I start having fun. If you can see, I didn't record it, but he's been highlighted with a yellow highlighter. And I think it's just kind of really fun. And then I touch up some of the other areas with a colored pencil just to even them out, to make them a bit more sharp. Oh, look at that shaky shake. I think I'm using a brown. And I guess I thought it wasn't dark enough, so I'm using what's a micron? A Pigma, Sakura Pigma micron pencil, and then just adding in the finishing little details. And some more yellow. If you can tell, I really like primary colors. I like yellow for these highlighter bits. I really like just adding like pops of color in anything. You'll see me do this in my digital art as well. These pops of like yellows and highlighter, yellows and magentas, they often appear. I just think it makes it a lot more interesting. Then also, I really like using colored pencils because I feel like I have control over where the pigment's going. With watercolor and gouache, it's kind of like a hit or miss, give and take, kind of like, does this look okay? Why isn't it showing the right color? But with colored pencil, you get exactly what you bought. You're like, bruh, I want you to have like the blue, and then sometimes the blue's like, I'm too light, and you're like, bruh, you're the gouache. You gotta listen to me. And the color pencil's like, I got you, sister, and it works every time. Colored pencils are my best friend. And sometimes we'll even go a little crazier and use a watercolor pencil like I'm using right now. And so, starting with a very simple minimalist background, a very light blue with gouache. I think it's mostly because I didn't really know what to do with this background. But I wanted the focus to be on him, so that's all we really get. It's just him. A very handsome young man. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. I'm not gonna sing. I won't make you listen to that. Yeah, cute boy with the white hair, and I really love him. Okay, so here's the finished image. Thank you guys for hanging out. You can find all my links in the description down below, including my Etsy, my Tumblr, my Instagram. Be sure to check it out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!